Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Fluffal Frightfur deck profile. So I'm really excited to do some for you guys because this deck is an extremely powerful deck that can easily OTK your opponent with all of your powerful fusion monsters. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. So without further ado, let's go and get straight on into this. So first off, we're playing 3 copies of Fluffal Dog. Fluffal Dog is definitely a 3-out in the build because this card is actually the Stratos of the deck. The name of this card is normal or special summoned from your hand. You can actually add an Yugioh Sabers or a Fluffal monster from your deck to your hand, except another copy of this card, which is such a powerful effect to grab the exact card that you need. We then play 3 copies of Fluffal Penguin. Fluffal Penguin is definitely a 3-out in the build, one of the most powerful Fluffal cards in the entire build, with the ability that during your main phase, you can special summon a Fluffal monster from your hand. Also, this card has an insane effect that if this card is sent to the graveyard as a fusion material for a fusion summon of a Frightfur fusion monster, you can actually draw 2 cards and then discard a card, which is a really powerful effect just to help us dig into the deck. We then play 2 copies of Fluffal Bear. Fluffal Bear is really powerful in the deck, but I feel like 2 copies is really all you need in this deck until we get to your copy of Toy Vendor, with the ability you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard to set a Toy Vendor directly from your deck to your spell and trap card zone, which is a pretty powerful ability to instantly get to Toy Vendor. We then play 2 copies of Fluffal Wings. Wings is extremely powerful in the deck to help you dig into the deck for the exact cards that you need, with the ability that if this card is in your graveyard and you control a Toy Vendor, you can actually banish this card in the graveyard, target a Fluffal monster in the graveyard and banish it. If you do, draw a card. Then you can send a copy of Toy Vendor to the graveyard that you control, and if you do, draw another card, which is great to basically help us draw 2 cards off this card's effect. We then play a single copy of Fluffal Dolphin. Dolphin is a really cool combo piece in the deck, but I feel like 1 copy is really all you need. This card is the ability you can actually target a Toy Vendor in your graveyard and set it, and if you do, send a Fluffal monster or an Yugioh Saber from your deck to the graveyard. And if this card is sent to the graveyard as a fusion material for a fusion summon, you can actually shuffle into the deck one of your Fluffal or one of your fusion spells or polymerization spells that's banished or in the graveyard, which is great to help you recover your fusion spells. We then play a single copy of Fluffal Sheep. Fluffal Sheep is a really powerful combo piece in the deck, but again, I feel like 1 copy is really all you need, as you usually combine this card with your copy of Fluffal Dog. This card is really, if you control a Fluffal monster, except a copy of this card, you can actually special summon this card in the hand, and you can return 1 other Fluffal monster that you control back to the hand to special summon an Yugioh monster from your hand to your graveyard, but you can only use this effect of this card once per turn. We then play a single copy of Octopus. Octopus is a really awesome combo piece in the deck, but again, I feel like 1 copy is really all you need. We then play 3 copies of Yugioh Chain. Yugioh Chain is really awesome in the build because this card helps you get to your copies of your Frightfur cards, with the ability that if this card is sent from the hand or field to the graveyard, you can actually add a Frightfur card from your deck to your hand, which is an awesome ability to help us get to our copy of Patchwork. We then play 2 copies of Scythe. Scythe is insane in this deck and actually lets us fusion summon during our opponent's turn, with the effect that during your opponent's main phase quick effect, you can reveal this card in your hand to fusion summon a Frightfur fusion monster from your X deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion material, including this card in your hand, which is a really powerful effect if we go second to help us fusion summon during our opponent's turn. We then play a single copy of Yugioh Sabers. Sabers is great as a 1-of in the build, as if this card is in the graveyard, you can actually place a card from your hand on top of your deck to special summon this card in defense position, which is a pretty cool ability to be able to use just to be able to bring this card back to your side of the field. Plus, it doesn't banish itself, so you can use this effect over and over again every single turn, which is so cool, but it is a once per turn effect. We then play a single copy of Eldritch the Golden Lord. Eldritch Golden Lord is really awesome in this deck as a 1-of, and this card helps out a lot to be able to combine with your copy of Toy Vendor. With the ability that you can send this card and a spell or trap card from your hand to the graveyard to target a card on the field and send it to the graveyard. But the main effect we want to use on this card is if this card is in the graveyard, you can actually send a spell or trap card you control to the graveyard to add this card back to your hand. Then you can special summon a zombie monster from your hand, which is always going to be this card. And if you do, until the end phase of your opponent's turn, it gains 1,000 attack and defense and cannot be destroyed by card effects, which is a really powerful effect to be able to use to instantly bring this card out to your side of the field, while also helping get your copy of Toy Vendor into the graveyard. So, that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Foolish Burial. Foolish Burial is a really powerful one in the deck that just helps us get the exact monster we need in the graveyard. We play a single copy of Frightfur Repair. Frightfur Repair is great to send to the graveyard off your copy of Cruel Whale, because this card has the ability that you can basically banish this card from the graveyard to special summon a Fluffal or an Edgy monster from your hand. We then play a single copy of Frightfur Fusion. Frightfur Fusion is basically the miracle fusion of the deck, making this card a definite 1-of in the build. We then play 2 copies of Polymerization. Polymerization is great to help us go for all of our awesome fusion plays in this build. We then play 3 copies of Frightfur Patchwork. Patchwork is such a powerful 3-of in the deck, because this card helps out so much in the build. This card is so much better than a Rodent, has the insane effect that lets you add an Edgy monster and a Polymerization from your deck to your hand, which is such a powerful ability to instantly grab the exact cards you need to help you go for your fusion plays. We then play 3 copies of Foolish Burial Goods. Goods is good. This card is awesome in the deck to be able to basically send your copy of Toy Vendor from the deck to the graveyard. We then play 3 copies of Toy Vendor. Toy Vendor is extremely powerful in this deck and basically what the entire deck revolves around. This card is usually once per turn you can discard a card, draw a card, and show it, and if it's a Fluffal monster you can special summon a monster from your hand. Otherwise, discard the card that you drew. And if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can actually add an Edgem Saber or a Fluffal monster from your deck to your hand, which is an insane ability to be able to use to instantly grab the exact card that you need. We then play 3 copies of Super Polymerization. Super Poly is great to help you just break your opponent's board using this card because this deck is an OTK deck, so this card is awesome just to deal with your opponent's monsters, to help us step into a really cool fusion monster while also getting rid of monsters on our opponent's side of the field. We then play 3 copies of Forbidden Droplets. Droplets is great to again break your opponent's board, and this card is awesome to basically just stop your opponent's monster effects, and use this card in this particular build to have the attack points of your opponent's monsters, and it's such a powerful card in this build. So, that's it for the main deck, guys. We do not play any traps. Let's get in to the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to start off with Frightfur Cruel Whale. This card is an amazing boss monster in the build, and the card you're usually summoning using your copy of Scythe. This card has the ability, if this card is fusion summoned, you can actually destroy a card on both players' fields, which is a really powerful effect to be able to use, especially if you're going second, so you can fusion summon in this card going basically when your opponent's going first to disrupt your opponent's plays. Using your copy of Scythe. This card also has the ability once per turn, quick effect, you can target a fusion monster you control, which it can target itself, and then send a Frightfur card from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard, except another copy of this card. If you do, the targeted monster gains attack equal to half its original attack until the end of the turn, which is a pretty cool ability to be able to use. We made a single copy of Sabretooth. Sabretooth is awesome in this deck and definitely a 1-of in the build just to be able to help you go in for game. As this card is built, when this card is fusion summoned, you can actually target a Frightfur monster in the graveyard and special summon it. And all Frightfur monsters you control gain 400 attack points. And if this card was fusion summoned using 3 or more fusion materials, it cannot be destroyed by battle by card effects, which is an extremely powerful effect. We then play a single copy of Kraken. Kraken is great in this build, but I feel like, again, one copy is really all you need. This card has the ability at once per turn, you can target a monster that your opponent controls and send it to the graveyard, but this card cannot attack directly the turn that this effect was activated, but this card can make a second attack during each battle phase. And once per turn, at the end of the battle phase, if this card battled, you can actually change this card to defense position, which is a great ability because this card actually has 3,000 defense points. And like a single copy of Wolf. Wolf is crazy in this build. It's basically just attack multiple times and go in for game. And like a single copy of Tiger. Tiger is great to help you pop cards on the field. And this card also gives your other monsters a little bit of a boost, with the ability that when this card is actually fusions, I mean you can target cards on the field up to the number of fusion materials used for this card's fusion summon and destroy them. And all Frightfur monsters that you control gain 300 attack points for each Fluffal monster and Frightfur monster that you control, giving you a massive boost. But you can only control one copy of this card. We then play a single copy of Guardian Chimera. Guardian Chimera is great to basically get us a draw 2 and a pop 1, or a pop 2 and a draw 1. It's just really good to be able to play in just about every single fusion deck that uses polymerization. We then play a single copy of Dracostapelia. Dracostapelia is a great super poly target and just an awesome card to be able to play in the deck because it's actually a walking negate. We then play a single copy of Garua and a single copy of Muddragon. These cards are just really good super poly targets overall and great to be able to play in this build. We then play a single copy of Bagooska. Bagooska is great just to help you slow down the game just in case you need to. And play a single copy of number 60. Number 60 is awesome in the build to either let us draw 2 and discard a card, special summon a monster in the graveyard, or you get to double the attack of a monster until the end of this turn, helping you OTK your opponent. This card is amazing in this build. And play a single copy of Avermax. Avermax is great when you make it with your copy of IP because it's basically indestructible, which is really cool. And play a single copy of IP. IP is great to basically make your copy of Avermax. And then finally, we play a single copy of Cross Sheep. Cross Sheep is great as a part of your combos in this deck. And this card is awesome to be able to use because it helps you special summon a monster in the graveyard when you do fusion summon, which is a pretty cool effect. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played a Fluffal Frightfur deck before, you should definitely give this deck a try because it's so fun to help you just OTK your opponent, and it's a really awesome fusion deck to summon out all sorts of cool fusion to help you go in for game. So that's good for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can come for our notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.